¿Cuál de esos cables que tiene más resistencia?
Which is the one of those is have more resistance? 22
Yeah, well,
or
of course, the
16?
smaller gauge has always more resistance.
Ah, los más pequeños tienen más resistencia. El número más pequeño tiene mayor resistencia.
The bigger your wire is, the less resistance you're going to have.
Claro, mientras mayor más grueso el cable, tiene menos resistencia.
The electric current will have more easily flow
La
into your
corriente
circuit.
va a fluir más fácilmente por el cable más grueso.
If you put 1,000 feet of 22 gauge
Si pones 100 pies de cable 22
and you hit your 12-volt battery, probably it won't ignite at the other end.
y conectas la batería de 12 volts, es muy probable que explote al otro lado.
Because there's too much resistance.
Que no explote, que no explote, perdón. Claro, porque tiene demasiada resistencia.
Plus, minus, if I put a jumper from this to this is 12, this is 12, this is equal to 24 volts. At the end of here, my wire, I'm going to have 24 volts.
Claro, la salida de esta conexión va a tener 24.
Positive to negative.
Positivo a negativo.
If I take another one, another battery,
Si pongo otra batería,
I do 12, positive, negative, and I jump it here. At this end, I'm going to have 36 volts.
claro, acabo de tener 36.
If you're blasting one electric match,
Si van a encender un fósforo eléctrico,
this is going to go.
va a funcionar.
But if you have 10 squibs connected at the same time,
Claro, si tienen 10 squibs conectados simultáneamente,
it's better to double or triple.
mejor duplicar o triplicar la carga eléctrica.
7 amps, that type of battery, you will never have problem to blow up to 5, 6 squibs.
5 o 6 squibs.
But on a very big car battery, you can deliver up to 600 amps on request. You know, that's a lot of
Con una batería de auto va a tener un amperaje muy superior. Claro.
on a single battery.
Pero entonces podríamos decir que aproximadamente un squib requiere de un ampere, ¿o no? ¿Es conversible?
One squib, 1 amp.
No,
Can
that
we
doesn't
say
work
that?
like that. A squib takes about 0.05 amp to fire, you know.
0.05 amperes para...
So that's why it is very sensitive. What is the status of your equipment? In which condition it is?
Depende de las condiciones, del estatus en que estén los equipos técnicos.
Especially a battery.
Especialmente las baterías.
Those lead and acid batteries,
Las baterías de ácido,
when you let it decharge too low,
cuando las dejan descargarse, tener muy poca carga,
you shorten their life and their capacity to keep a charge.
acortan la capacidad de vida y de volver a cargarse.
So keep them in good condition
Así que ténganlas en buenas condiciones
and you won't have problem.
y no tendrán problemas.
You know, so we said we had an electric circuit, the basic of what we are doing.
Lo básico que estamos haciendo.
Of course, on a battery, there's always a 12 volt, there's always a polarity.
La batería hay una polaridad.
For our purpose, a squib doesn't have a polarity.
Para nuestros efectos, los squibs no tienen polaridad.
So it's not important for us on which side you're going to connect it.
Por lo tanto, no importa de qué manera sean conectados.
That's not a big deal.
Eso no es un gran problema.
We have our squib,
Tenemos nuestro squib,
2 wires coming out,
2 líneas salen,
and between this, by example, we're going to have a push button
tendremos el botón
that I'm going to represent by the opening of a circuit.
que vamos a representar como un circuito abierto.
This other wire, let's say we're going to call it the common,
El otro cable le llamaremos el común,
is directly connected to our squib.
está directamente conectado al squib.
And the other part is separate in 2 parts, which is your push button.
Y la otra parte está separada en dos, en el punto del botón.
So as soon as this gate closes,
Al momento que esto se cierra,
the circuit is closed and it fires.
el circuito se cierra y estalla.
let's say this is going to be our little nail board.
Esta va a ser nuestra peineta.
We have, let's say, 4.
4 squibs.
We have, hold on, our battery,
La batería.
plus and moins. So, sorry, and minus. So this is going to be our common.
Este es nuestro cable común.
So one of the wire of all our squib is going to be connected to a pole of our battery.
Un cable de los squibs va a ir conectado a un polo de la batería.
The other wire is going to be on every circuit we.
Y el otro cable va a los clavos del circuito de la peineta.
And the other is going to be with our little nail.
Y el positivo va a quedar con nuestro clavo.
Voila. And this is this.
Esto es esto.
Okay? So with this, I'm going to be touching every nail. I'm going to be closing the circuit and fire my squib.
Cuando vaya tocando se va a ir cerrando el circuito y va a ir estallando el squib.
Or ba-ba-ba-ba-bam.
O en secuencia.
You have different systems.
Hay diferentes sistemas.
Some of them, you push the button and you have to hold it.
En algunos tú apretas el botón y lo tienes que mantener apretado.
If you release, it stops.
Si lo liberas, se detiene la secuencia.
Other system, when you hit the button, it starts and it fires.
Y la otra funciona que apretas y se va toda la secuencia de viaje.
If you want to stop it, you have to push again.
Y si lo quieres parar, puedes apretar de nuevo el botón y se detiene.
Each of them has his advantages and his defects. It depends how you ease with the system.
Cada uno tiene sus ventajas y desventajas dependiendo de cómo usen el sistema.
Personally, I like more something that you push and you keep push.
Personalmente prefiero el sistema en que aprieto y dejo apretado.
If anything happens, you release and it stops.
Si algo pasa, yo lo suelto y se detiene.
With this system, we can work on 2 things. We can have the remote control.
Con este sistema podemos trabajar de 2 maneras, como control remoto.
And that the system, if I hit fire, I hold it and it keeps on firing in automatic mode.
Si lo aprieto y queda en modo automático y sigue disparando.
Or if I'm on single, I have to depress the fire every time. Pa, 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 pa.
Y la otra es que aprieto el botón para cada disparo.
Or I can have a push button
O tengo el botón
that is connected to it. And on this button, it's a little bit funky, but that's a good idea. You have two trigger on it.
Tiene 2 gatillos en este.
Yeah. Probably that's what it is. That's what I say. Holotron. See? It's a little bit, but it works anyway. But what I like is the safeties have two trigger on it. You have to depress both of them at the same time.
Tienes que usar los 2 gatillos al mismo tiempo por
So
seguridad.
you push one, because by accident you cannot, if you drop it and then push one,
Y si se
it
te
ain't
cae
gonna
y se
fire.
golpea un botón puede detonarse.
So you need to push both of them,
Así que necesitas apretar los 2 para que funcione.
whatever. So I can go automatic, but I have to program the automatic still with the
Para que
key
vaya
part.
automático tenés que programarlo.
This is
Plumaví,
plaster
parece.
made with, how do you call it, baking soda.
Hecho como de bicarbonato.
So it makes a lot of bubble into it. It's
No hace
lighter.
burbuja.
There are all kind of formulas about that. There's a product that is sold in the market called snow gyps.
Es un producto llamado nieve, yeso nieve.
All these devices are perfect to create some action, some movement into the thing.
Todos estos productos son buenos para crear acción de movimiento en la escena.
Because if you just blow a thing here and now, well, it's a little bit. If you have a lot of things flying at the same time, this is more visually more
Si
interesting.
vuelas una cosa aquí y otra allá sola, tiene un sentido,
That's the
pero si le
purpose.
pones objetos para que vas a ver cosas volando en el aire,
Those are the purpose of these things.
estos son el sentido que tienen estos productos.
So depending of how close they are from the people,
Dependiendo de qué tan cerca de la gente estén,
you're going to have a bigger or smaller squib into it.
a ponerle squibs mayores o menores de tamaño.
So, by example, like this one, I can put a 61,
Aquí pongo un 61.
and if I'm very far, I can put a 66 into them.
Si está más lejos, puedo poner un 66.
You can be doing this with a cork kit.
Pueden hacer esto con corcho.
This is balsa. The way it is slit, it is very interesting because it's going to do a lot of flying debris all over the
Muy
place.
interesante cómo opera porque van a salir un montón de fragmentos volando.
So, for you, the only thing that could be dangerous
Lo único que puede ser peligroso
is when you're on a set
cuando estás en un set
and you go in parallel with wire.
y vas en paralelo con otro cable.
You can have induction,
Puedes
electrical
tener
induction.
inducción eléctrica.
So normally you avoid to put your cables in that situation. If you totally have to, if you go cross-side like that, you're quite limiting the risk. But try to,
En este sentido estás limitando el riesgo. Si van paralelos
But
se puede
please
producir
try
la
to,
inducción.
try to raise the thing from the ground. Hombres, we're going to go back. Everybody are rolling? All right, firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1. We would have a different result if we would have soaken in water. When it is still wet, we would have bigger chunk.
Tendríamos diferentes resultados si lo hubiéramos humedecido un poco en agua.
Take this in consideration. If you have many like that and you fire them in a short range of time, in a short period of time, if you go ba 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 bam, you're going to have a white cloud. Okay,
Claro.
so
Si disparas muy seguido, tú mismo vas a tener una nube blanca finalmente.
okay, we want to fly these pieces away, okay? So we need something a little bit more powerful. So we're going to be using a 66 on that.
Vamos a usar un 66 porque queremos que esto vuele más lejos.
A little piece of plasticine
Siempre pongo un poco de un trozo de
to
plasticina
fill the hole and also to increase a little bit the power of my reaction.
para llenar el hoyo y así aumentar un poco la fuerza de la explosión. ¿Todo el mundo está grabando?
Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1.
¡Oh! Buena.
This is a different squib. This is a 63, smaller.
Smaller.
Yes.
And the other one?
Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1. That was a little bit less fear. You know, we had a better definition of the debris.
Tiene más definición de los fragmentos. ¿Y qué es lo rojo que tiene encima?
Es como un galvanizado, es como
If you want to, it's, you pull on that to make sure. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And also, it depends how long are going to be my cable.
Depende del largo de los cables,
What's the gauge of my wire?
cuál es el diámetro del cable.
So, okay, we're ready. In 3, 2, 1, action.
Quickly.
Voilà. Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1. Oh my. But the problem with this is that it's so fast
El problema de esto es que es tan rápido
that it doesn't push. It goes through.
que no empuja, sino que atraviesa.
When we're going to be in the field, you see, we went through the book, you know.
Atravesó el libro de la ola.
It makes a hole. You're going to see, I hope we're going to be able to have the permit to do that. We're going to put a piece of plywood there, 4x8, like that.
Vamos a usar un panel como este
and we're going to put that cord like that.
y le vamos a poner primer cord alrededor para ver cómo funciona.
You're going to see the cut of the primer cord into like a whip.
Claro, y va a quedar marcado,
thing.
va a cortarla como que fuera un rayo láser, va a quedar cortado.
If you want to push debris in the air, you need something with a long, soft stroke, and this is black powder.
Claro, si quieres que vuelen fragmentos en el aire necesitas algo que deflagre lentamente y eso es la pólvora negra.
Our friends here who work with the fireworks, you know, they use with a big grain black powder because they want the propulsion. They want to blow the shell of it
Ellos
up in
usan
the air.
pólvora de grano grande porque necesitan propulsión
It
para los fuegos
burns slowly
artificiales.
as a push.
La
When you're
cámara sola.
using this, never ever have metal parts or hard plastic parts that can fly away and act like a bullet.
Claro, cuando uses esto no pueden haber partes plásticas ni metálicas involucradas
This
porque
is
se
way
convierten en-
dangerous.
no, pues
If
se
you
convierten
have
en
to
proyectiles.
if you have to screw something to hold the thing, you're gonna drill a hole and put a wood wedge to hold the thing in place. Never ever use a metal part when you're playing with primer
Ah, claro,
cord.
si tenéis que atornillar algo hay que usarlo con madera y nunca con metal si vas a usar primer cord.
You're gonna see that travel fast and far.
Que viaja rápido y lejos.
74.
Ah, eso es.
Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1. Did you notice the flash?
No. ¿Vieron el flash?
Pero hay más, puede encontrar más. Y si quería hacer esos bloques que él tiene para reventar, tendría que pegar 3 maderas.
So
SD 74.
this is real wood, so there's going to be real debris. I don't want nobody in the direct axis. Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1.
Salió justo para donde estabas tú.
You can have a different result if your squib is closer to the surface or further. It depends what you want to achieve.
Pueden tener diferentes resultados dependiendo de qué profundidad esté o a qué cercanía de la superficie de la madera.
It depends also the type of wood you're going to be using. I don't know what it is.
Pine.
This is very hard. Pine.
Depende del tipo de madera también que usen.
Pero esa broca no es una cosa normal. No es normal.
Ah,
es
no es-
nuevo.
We're going to go with a DAT-1.
De 81.
De 81. Es el que ocupan para la gente, ¿no?
So this is with the DAT-1. And of course, the other problem is the dust,
El otro
because this
problema es
is
el
plaster.
polvo, porque es yeso.
So if you do several, let's say you have 20 hits and you fire them very fast, you might have a lot of dust.
Si tienen varios tiros en la misma plancha van a tener mucho polvo.
This can be avoided by making those little water bag that I talked to you a little bit later that you can make with the sealer.
Esto se puede evitar con las bolsitas de agua de las que hablé que se hacen con el sellador, la cantidad de polvo en el aire.
Everybody are rolling? Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
If you don't score, of course this is a big hole, but you can have a smaller drill to do the thing.
Si lo hacen con un taladro más pequeño, el hoyito también queda más pequeño. Este es un arma, no se le puede apuntar a nadie.
It's always on when you're not using it. And there's also an extra protection on these little thing. There's a little capote that you can put on top of it to make sure that the thing ain't gonna fire.
Claro.
So until the last minute. You're not aiming at anybody.
Nunca
This
apuntes
is
a
always
nadie,
pointing, whether it is pointing down,
o
whether it's in
abajo,
the air.
o apuntas arriba.
And also this wall is very gritty. There's a lot of bumpy surfaces
La
that
superficie
the
es súper
zirconium
muy irregular
can
también.
grab and stay.
Entonces se queda ahí probablemente el producto pegado y se sigue quemando.
So we're going to do a window, tempered glass.
Vamos a trabajar en un vidrio templado.
Of course, the tempered glass, when it's going to be it's going to shatter into little nuggets.
Cuando un vidrio templado se quiebra, se deshace en pequeños pedacitos.
If we want to avoid that, there's a product.
Si queremos evitar esto, hay un
This is a
producto,
plastic film
una película plástica,
with that you remove the peel off. You're going to put water, vaporized water, on both of these things.
Ponen agua pulverizada y la ponen sobre el vidrio.
Then apply the product with a squeegee. You're going to remove all the water and the air bubble into it.
Hay que remover las burbujas.
And you're going to stay, it takes about 24 hours to cure.
En 24 horas queda listo.
All the glass in a public area that is suspended over people has to have this product on there.
Todos los vidrios que están sobre personas en áreas públicas tienen que llevar esos plásticos, a lo menos en Canadá.
So you're going to keep all the thing together.
Así que va a quedar todo junto.
You're going to have the effect, the cracked effect.
Va a tener el efecto de la rotura.
And if you want to make holes into this thing,
Si quieren hacer hoyos en el vidrio,
you can cut holes into your plastic prior to put it.
hacen hoyos en el plástico que van a poner.
So when you put the tempered glass and you want it to shatter,
Cuando ponen vidrio templado y quieren que se quiebre,
it cannot be too tight in the frame.
no puede estar muy apretado en el marco.
If it's too tight,
Si está muy apretado,
it's just gonna shatter and stay in position.
se va a quebrar y se va a quedar en la posición.
It needs room to be able to fall apart.
Necesita espacio para poder caer.
So you can easily leave a quarter inch all around it.
Si le dejan un cuarto pulgada alrededor,
See? So it's going to be able to move like that. Okay? Same thing when we're going to do the car. We're going to cut the rubber seal around the door, the rubber gasket around the door of the window of the car.
le vamos a
We're going to
cortar
cut it
la
to make
goma
sure
que
that our
tiene el
window is loose in
vidrio.
the frame because we want it to fall down.
La goma alrededor es la que corta.
By example, if you try to blow the back window of a car,
Si tratan de volar la
very
parte
often it's going
trasera,
to stay there because it is too tight.
va a quedar siempre ahí porque está muy apretado.
So I want to pay attention that, of course, debris are going to be flying in that
Los
direction.
fragmentos van a volar en esa dirección.
And as I said also, if you want to avoid that, you're going to be able to screw a little square of polycarbonate in front of it to
Si quieren que evitar eso, le ponen un pequeño trocito cuadrado de policarbonato. en el-
wiring a hole in a 3, 2, 1.
Nada,
That was real.
nada.
That was real tempered glass.
Thank you, sir.
We didn't do the little spark device. We're going to blow a 16, a 17, and a 17A to see the difference.
Los que producen chispa, que los va a probar ahora.
Z16.
16.
16. 16.
Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1. That was a 16. A 17. Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1. This is a little bit more powerful.
Es más poderoso. Which one is this?
17A. Firing a hole in a 3, 2, 1.
Bastante más.
Voila.